Hi guys, I'm Bobsy, and in this video we're going to go over the displaying the player's health and also having the player actually die when they reach 0 health. So first things first, let's just set up the canvas so that we can work with the UI. And there's a few things that I always do when setting up the canvas initially. First of all, I say scale with screen size and I set it to a reference resolution that I like to use, which is 1920 by 1080, which is essentially the full HD screens. Also in terms of match width or height, I always like setting it to 0.5. So that things scale a little bit with both. And then going into the 2D view here, let's set up our health. So I'm gonna add a text mesh pro here. This is just gonna be our health text, I'm gonna call it. And I'm just gonna write 100 for reference. I'm gonna make it thick. I'm gonna put it in the left side at the bottom, and let's make it, I don't know, 80 pixels big. And let's put it in the bottom left. And then also for scaling wise, we are gonna click this little thing up here and put it in the bottom left. So now if I go into game view and I start scaling it around, you can see that the health stays now stuck to the bottom left side of the screen. And also we can maybe make it something like red so that you can more easily see your health if we want to. And there we go. Now we set up some health text. Now let's make it actually functional. Now I've already gone ahead and made a few folders here. So you can see I have like a players folder where my player scripts are in, miscellaneous folder, guns folder, and so on. And this will also come in handy later. But for now, let's start handling some UI properly. And one of the things that I want to do is I want us to create a new script that's going to be called our game view manager. And now let's add this game view manager directly onto our canvas. And underneath the canvas, we want every view to be its own game object. So I'm going to, for example, have a main game view, and we can put the health text in there. But before doing that, I want to put it to scale with the entire screen size. And I want to just put it so that it fills the entire screen, which essentially means 0 on all of these values here, like so. I'm going to put the health text under that. So now it still scales just fine, but now we have this, main object that can hold multiple objects that we can essentially show and hide. Cool. Let's go into the game view manager. And in here, I want to handle a few things. First of all, given the name game view manager, it handles some kind of views. And let's first of all define what a view is. So I want to make a public abstract class. Now abstract, I'll explain in a little bit, but I'm just going to call this a view. And this is going to derive from mono behavior as well, like so. And essentially what an abstract class means is we can set rule sets. So it's essentially the same as a normal class that you can inherit from. And if you inherit from view, it's also mono behavior. However, it acts a bit like an interface as well in the sense that we can set rules up. So by setting some rules, for example, I'll make a public abstract void that's going to call on show. And I'm going to make a public abstract void that I'm going to call on hide. Like so. So now we can call these essentially whenever we show and hide it. The last thing I also want to give it is a canvas group. Now the reason for a canvas group, and let me just go and show you, canvas groups are extremely helpful in the sense that they can allow you to essentially fade in anything, right? So if I do like this, I give it a canvas group, and you can see I can add like 3 health texts, put them around the place like this, all of the UI objects. And you can see as I change the alpha, all of them will fade out because they're UI components which all have an alpha. Cool. So now that we know this, we can now use this to essentially fade in and out or hide and show game views by setting this to 0 and 1. Cool. So going back to our game view manager, let's now make a serialized field, private list. And this is going to be a list with system collections generics that are going to hold a list of views. And this is going to be called all views. I'm going to serialize that to new. And also let's also just serialize a private view that is going to be our default view. Awesome. Now in Awake, we can essentially set up the default view. But before we do this, I want to make some calls for, internally actually showing and hiding views. So, I'm going to do hide view internal, and we're going to feed it the view, and that will be the view to hide. And we'll essentially just do view.canvasgroup.alpha equals to 0, and then we'll call view.onHide, like that. And we'll do the same thing for show view. So let's just duplicate this whole thing, call this other one show view internal, like that. And then we'll set the alpha to 1 and we'll call on show. There it goes. Now when we call these, we can show and hide the individual views. Now since in the beginning we only want one view active, what I can do is I can just for each through all of our views, view, like that. And we'll just say hide view internal, and that'll be with the view. And then after that, we can do the show view internal, with the default view. So there we go. So now we'll only have the default view active. Now we also want to be able to call this from the outside. And for that, first of all, we're going to register it with the instance handler. So I'm going to do instance handler.register instance and register this. If you're not familiar with the instance handler, I would say definitely say go and read the docs on it. It's extremely useful and essentially allows us to work a bit like if this was singletons, you know, like if I did a public static game view manager that we just call instance. Same idea really. Except it's a bit safer because we don't have to manually really do much. If we just undestroy, make sure to just do instance handler.unregister instance and we'll unregister the game view manager. And that's really it. Now we automatically can just always get it through the instance handler. So if we ever want in another script to get the game view manager, we just do instance handler.get instance, game view manager, and there we go. And if you want to be even safer, you can also do the try get instance and you can put that in an if statement because this will return a bool. Cool, now with that out the way, all the nerdy stuff out the way, let's make the actual public methods that we'll use to access in the future. We're not going to be using these now, but just for future cases, we're going to set this up. So the way that this should work is essentially, we're going to be using generics to our advantage, right? So when we call show view, we're going to do it with the type of a generic. And the type is the one that we want to show. So essentially I want to for each through all of our views, which will just be all views. And we'll call that a view. And what we can now do in here is we can say if view.getType is essentially the same as the type of the T that we sent through, then we want to show this view. So we're going to do show view internal, and we're going to do it with this view. And if it's not the one that we want to show, we'll hide it. So we can do hide view internal with the view, like so. And what we can also do in here is we can just make a bool that we can say hide others. And we can maybe default this to true, for example, and then say if hide others, then do it. So in this case, we do have the freedom to not hide others if we don't want to. And again, now we're going to do the same thing for hiding the views. So let me just speed through this quickly and you can copy the code if you want to. And there we go. This should essentially do it. So now we have a basic view manager. Now let's go and actually make our view. So in here, I'm now going to go make a new script and I'm going to call this main game view. And let's just immediately inherit this from view. And this is going to give us an error. And if you just hover it and hold Alt and press Enter, and press enter again, you can implement the missing members. These are the ones that I want to implement. This is the onShow and onHide. I just hit OK and I do that. And there we go. This is essentially now our view. Now we don't actually have to do much more right now, but we can do more in here and we're going to do that in just a little bit. But now let's actually set up the view first. So I'm going to drag and drop the main game view in here. We can give it the canvas group reference, which was the canvas group I gave it earlier. And in the canvas here, I can now drag this into all views. And I can also drag it into our default view because it is the one I want as the main view, since it's the main game view. Cool. And now we essentially want to handle the functionality of actually updating the health. So let's go in here and let's serialize a field. And let's do a private tmp_text so we can reference the text mesh pro health text. And I now want to make a public void update health. And yeah, we can essentially just update the text directly. So we can just say update text and then health. And we can essentially also just, if you just want to show the number like I do, we can just do health to string, same thing. Cool, now we just need a way to call the update health. And how do we do that? Well, we use this magic instance handler, which is really great. So instance handler to register instance to this. And of course, same thing on destroy, we'll do instance handler.unregister instance with the type of main game view, because that's the script we're inside. So now we can go into our player health script. And essentially whenever the health now changes, we want to update that text, but we only want to do it if it's our health that changes, right? So I can just do if is owner, then we do something. And what we can do is we can take the health.onChanged, subscribe to that with a method we can call whatever. I'm going to call it onHealthChanged. And as you should, when you subscribe to something, you should always unsubscribe as well. So I'm just going to do it on destroy, and I'm essentially going to unsubscribe from it as well. Cool. And now if I hold Alt and press enter and enter again, we've just created the method. And if you want to name the object in here properly, we can just name it the new health, for example, but it doesn't really matter that much. And now we want to get the main game view. So if I could do instance handler.get instance main game view, and I do .update health, and now we can give it our new health, and that's it. So essentially what happens now is whenever that the health changes, the server will lower the health, and then this onChanged event will automatically be called now only for the owner, or only the owner is subscribed, which means only if we are the owner are we in here. And then it'll tell the main game view now to update the health, and which, you know, updates the text on screen to the health that's been set. So now let's go and test that out and confirm that that is indeed working. So if I now hit play and play on the client, there we go, here we have the client. And you can see if the client shoots us, oh, of course, classic Bobsy style, I forgot to set the reference of the text. So let's just drag and drop that, try once again. And there we go. So now if the client goes ahead and shoots us, and there you go, 90, 80, 70, 60, and as you can see, this works. But obviously now we're not dying, because we can go into the negatives. So let's just fix that really quickly. And that's really going to be as easy as in the update health. We're essentially just checking if the health value goes too low. Oh, sorry, not the update health, I'm silly me. In the player health script, in the change health, when the server already changes the health, we can just check if the health goes less than or equal to 0, then we just despawn the object, so just destroy a game object. Because in pernet, it's that easy to despawn things, which is important to keep in mind. So now let's go and try this. So now let's try where the server goes and shoots the client instead, you know, a little bit of revenge. And if I just shoot him here, now he's 70, 60, 50, and now he's 10, and boom, there we go, and he despawned. And there you go, now your players can also die. Of course, we can add some effects to it later, and on the client, his camera essentially just got stuck, because now it has nothing to follow anymore, but you can see his health also successfully reached 0. And yeah, there we go, it's as easy as that. And then, you know, we might have another view maybe for when you're dead, and also in the next video we can get going with the game states and setting up all of that logic. So I hope this video was helpful to you, and I really hope that you learned something in every single video. In the next one we'll get on to setting up the game logic, and yeah, see you in the next one. Please do leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I just hope that you had a wonderful day.